What is going on, Birdland? Stephen Heckman here with the Final Strike podcast, brought to you by the Baltimore Battery, coming to you with a special edition just because the first domino in the Orioles trade season has officially fallen, as Gregory Soto was sent to the New York Mets in exchange for number 19 prospect Wellington Aracena, which seems to be a great pickup for us. We'll get into that in a minute. We also picked up Cameron Foster, a 26-year-old reliever, possible swing starter. So here's how this breaks down. Gregory Soto is on an expiring contract. The New York Mets now have two players with the last name Soto. Not like that matters or anything, but I just thought that'd be fun. Wellington Aracena actually slots into the number 19 ranking in the Baltimore Orioles top 30. That's something we plan on having Zach back on and discussing anyway, because he's going to have some words about the Orioles top 30 prospects. But I digress. We're here to talk about something different anyway. Aracena is the gem of the trade, and here's why. He is 20 years old, yes, so a lot of people are looking at this as this is not something that's going to help us out immediately. But here is a kid who has a fastball that can actually reach 100 miles per hour. It sits roughly between 96 or 95 and 97, but can top out at 100. Two ways this becomes good for us. His cutter is one of the top. His secondary pitches are very good. His cutter is one of the top in the game. But this guy can slot in. He has the potential to slot in as a back-end rotation guy, long reliever, possibly back-end bullpen guy. So you have three ways to actually develop this guy. The smart move would be to develop him right now as a starter. That way, if we want to keep him in the starter role or move him into a long relief role, it's an easier transition. It's easier to take a pitcher down than it is to bring a pitcher up. So that's one of the things, and I can tell you from personal experience, I've pitched relief, I've pitched starting pitching. The easier it is to come in relief is totally different. It's easier to come in relief knowing you're only going to be in for a short time than it is to start a game and have to try and manage yourself to get through at least 5 to 6 innings. All right. And the reason I bring this up is with a reliever, you're basically in for at least 3 batters. Those 3 batters are going to dictate what happens if you come back out or not. Most pitchers are going to come out in that time frame and they're going to be blazing the ball the best they can. So they're going to throw all their best pitches. They're going to throw everything they can as their out pitches when they get the moment. Their job is to make sure the game stays the way it is and gets to the next guy. All right. You have a 1-2-3 inning with 6 pitches. Possibly you come back out for the following inning. With a starter, you have to ramp yourself up. You can't just come out in the first inning and throw gas. And if anybody remembers Randy Johnson, one of the great things about Randy Johnson was as the game went on, he pitched harder. So he was able to maintain and build that stamina up for the back end of the game to keep him in the game longer. Yes, he might have a 15 or a 20 pitch inning here, but realistically, you probably could get through with about 10 to 12 pitches from him, and then you can get him into the 7th or 8th inning. Pitchers like that aren't going to exist much these days because of the way everything is set up. Most starters, if they know they're only going to pitch 5 or 6 innings, are going to do everything they can to come out and blaze the ball by people and use junk to get around it when they need it. We don't have to do that. And that's one thing Grayson Rodriguez learned when he first came up into the majors. His 100-mile-per-hour fastball meant jack because people knew it was going to come eventually, so they sat and waited on it. It was when he learned that his changeup, his curveball, his slider, his splitter, all that are pitches that can actually help make it so he can pitch instead of just throw. And that is the difference. A lot of time relievers come out, they're throwing with pitching intertwined in it, whereas starters come out pitching and throwing. You ever watch Dean Kramer pitch? Usually when he knows he's coming out, his fastball tops up. He will reach back and everything he got, and he will get his fastball up to 96, 97. One of the good things about Dean Kramer is he's a guy can come out and pitch 100 pitches through 5, 6, or 7 innings and be all right. Those are the type of pitchers that are harder and harder to find these days because they are able to carry that workload. And I know a lot of people don't like that I'm bringing Kramer into this, but I'm just trying to set an example. This guy, Wellington Aracena, has the ability to be a pitcher who can benefit the Orioles in many ways. He is only 20. Yes, but he slots in as the number 19 prospect, which means he's got a trail that's going to help him exceed and move forward. He's going to get more attention. I don't want to say more attention, but he's going to get more focus on what the Orioles want to do. And the interesting thing about the Orioles' new top 30 is 6 of the 10 positions are actually held by pitchers. When's the last time you could actually say that about the Baltimore Orioles' top 30 prospects? But I digress. Like I said, we will talk about that with Zachary in the coming weeks. Now, the other player that we got in this trade was Cameron Foster. Cameron Foster is a 26-year-old minor league player. Okay. He is done excellent down in the AA circuit, but his one shot up at AAA, he unfortunately lasted 2/3 of an innings, gave up 6 runs. So it was a brief, and he did it as a starter. It was a brief audition, and I don't think he really got, the attention that he could have gotten out of it if they had worked with him a little bit more. And it could have just been they needed bullpen arms, and he was a spot reliever at the time. But when I go back and I look at this kid's stats, this year in 21 games, he's 5-2 with a 2.97 ERA across 30 innings with 39 strikeouts and a 1.05 whip. That is really damn good. Over his career, in 66 games, he's got a 13-10 record, 3.78 ERA with 183 innings pitched, 192 strikeouts, and a respectable 1.37 whip. So it's not like there is much to be concerned about here. He went 4-6 across 18 games in high A. He went 4-2 across 27 games in double A. There he had 9 starts. So he's gotten some work in as a starter. He had 1 start this year in the minors, which I told you I was up in triple A. Hold on a minute if I can get this to work for me. He actually went 1-1. He has a 17.18 ERA across 2 games with 1 start. He totaled 3 2/3 innings, 7 runs. Like I said, 6 of those runs came in 2/3 of an inning in the 1 start that he did have. The one thing I do like about the guy is over his career, he's not much of a guy. He's not a guy who gives up a lot of home runs. 183 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 16 home runs. So he's doing better than what he's doing almost. Now I got to think. See what happens when I do this on a whim. 183.2. So he gives up a home run 8% of the innings he pitched. That's pretty damn good. And that's going to be good for a reliever if he can keep and maintain that. Now, it's possible we could see him at the end of the year in Baltimore, especially with us trading Gregory Soto. The bullpen will be an arm down tonight. Jeremiah Johnson has actually been called up and will make his major league debut when he does debut for the Baltimore Orioles. Just if anybody's been paying attention, Jeremiah Johnson has been lighting it up in AAA. Like, there were many times in the weeks when we were picking out the best prospects where he was fringe being the guy. And the only reason he wasn't was because the guy who did it was just this much better than him. And he's been consistent, and I think it's going to work out for us as another player. The thing that does raise the question is, does that mean Ramon Urias might be on the way out? Could Kobe Mayo be on the way out? Don't know, but we do know one thing. The trade season has started. Baltimore Orioles seem to be people who are going to be moving a lot of expiring contracts. If you read the article I wrote through the Baltimore Battery last week, 5 players that could be traded. We did not name Gregory Soto, and Jared and me actually did discuss this and go back and forth between Sir Anthony Dominguez, Ramon Urias, and Gregory Soto. The reason I had left Gregory Soto out of that list at the time was because recently he was struggling in the bullpen. And I didn't think he was going to foster a lot of phone calls over Sir Anthony Dominguez and Ramon Urias, who does have a year remaining on his contract, especially with teams that are looking for third baseman this year. You also have players teams such as the Giants who need utility infielders because they need to rest some guys. So Ramon Urias seemed like a very good return. And after what the Yankees gave up to get McMahon, I have no doubt in my mind that Ramon Urias could fetch us a quality return, especially because he is a lot better than McMahon. If he ever gets the opportunity to play full-time, I think he's going to be surprising a lot of people because we've seen him in Baltimore filling admirably for us, pinch hit for us, coming off the bench for us, does not complain. He comes in, does his job to the best of his ability every single game, and he will always give you 110%. Why he is a Gold Glover, and I've had my discussions about this. I didn't agree with it. I will give the guy the credit. He did earn the Gold Glove. He did win the Gold Glove. And he has proven his defense is Gold Glove caliber. Give him an opportunity to play, give him 120, 130 games. The guy's going to hit you about 260, 270, probably get you 15 home runs, drive you in 60, 70 home runs, and he's going to play strong defense for you. I honestly sound like I'm selling the guy to the rest of the major leagues, don't I? Anyway, so Birdland, let me know what you think of this trade. Let me know if you agree with the return we got. I know a lot of people are upset with the fact that we did not get a complete player who's going to be able to contribute right away for us. But looking at the long-term future, this is something that you have to do. You not only have to plan for next year, but you also have to plan for the years after that. One of the good things that I admire about Mike Elias, and I know Mike Elias is on a lot of people's bucket list as getting canned, but one of the things I do like about Mike Elias is he doesn't just plan for 1 year. He plans for multiple years. The Astros, 10 years, they represented the AL and the ALCS. So, if we're going to get that by the time this whole thing is done, is it really worth getting that upset nowadays, knowing what's going to be coming in the future? Yes, we do need to get some extensions done. Yes, I do think they are forthcoming. I think getting rid of players who are on expiring contracts, like if you read my article, we did have Ryan O'Hearn, who's our best trade chip right now. We had Cedric Mullins. We had Zach Eflin. We had Sir Anthony Dominguez, and we had Ramon Urias. But that's not where it ends. I mean, Charlie Morton, the way he's pitched over his last 10 games with a 2.78 ERA, he's had one game where he's given up more than 3 earned runs during that time. You have Tomioka Sugano, who, yes, he still is offering something for us. He could easily be a good bullpen arm for somebody. He might not be able to join into a starting rotation, but I think he could be a good bullpen piece for somebody. So there are possibilities still out there. We still have Ryan Mountcastle available. There is still Heston Kjerstad. There is still Kobe Mayo. I mean, there's a lot of different offerabilities that we have that we could give to other teams and get a good, decent package in return. So we'll see what happens. We'll be back next time we get another trade update. Hopefully, Baltimore, you look at this for what it really is, on not just a 1-year helper, but a multiple-year helper. Because if Foster can help out this year, next year, I think that's a benefit to our bullpen. And as we get Wellington Aracena going and decide what we're going to do with him, it can be a benefit to us in the next 2 years. So let's look at it for what it's worth. Let's not deduce it as something that we're doing just to do. It was honestly a good trade. We got a top 20 prospect that slots into our top 30. So that should tell you something. It's a pitcher, and anybody who knows the Mets can produce pitchers. So let me know what you think, Baltimore. Leave me something in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are on this trade. Let me know if you agree with it or disagree with it, and let me know what you think is going to happen going forward. Want to know what you think, Baltimore. So until next time, please keep that beer cold. Peace out and have a good one.